If you're up to this video, congratulations, you are nearly there. Your SRP write-up is nearly finished. So this video is all about the discussion and the conclusion. Why do we actually need one video for both of those things? Aren't they two things, Mr. Seymour? Well, actually, we need to just keep the end game in mind, and the end game is your conclusion. And in order to write a valid and well-structured discussion, you need to have the end in mind all the way through your discussion. So that's why I'm putting the conclusion and the discussion video together, because as we lead through the discussion, you always have to have the end goal in mind, which is your conclusion. Let's get stuck into it. So in a discussion, here we go. First paragraph, first thought is we need to, if you don't know, if you need a basic paragraphing style, use Teal or Peel like you've done in the introduction. It makes a big difference. If you're a little bit more advanced in your understanding of English, then please use a more complex paragraphing structure or styling, because Teal and Peel are very simplistic, but at least it gives you at least a solid firm foundation in which to set your paragraphing style upon. So if you know better than that, which is great, I hope you do, then use another style. But if not, this is at least a good solid start. So paragraph 1. This is the time, this is the whole paragraph where you need to let the audience understand why your study is important. So you need to summarize, and it might elaborate a little bit more, summarize a few parts of your introduction where you have to summarize the major gaps in understanding that your work is trying or attempting to fill those gaps. So basically, what was the overarching hypothesis? What was the main problem that you were trying to address? And why is it important that gap, that information gap that you're trying to fill, why is that necessary? Why is this question you're trying to answer going to move the field of chemistry, physics, archaeology, whatever you were trying to do? Why and how was it important to move it forward? Second paragraph and third paragraph. Why I've put these in red is because these are the most important components of your discussion. The first paragraph, not so much, definitely important, but the second and the third, and possibly if you want to do a similar thing in the fourth paragraph, it's absolutely critical, therefore, to get across a critical analysis of what you found in your results, the scientific explanation. And I've bolded the key terms. How and why did you see the trends and patterns that were occurring in your graph, for example? And then the second most important, and something that you probably maybe need to spend a paragraph or two more on, is the evidence, the scientific explanation of why it occurred. So I could have had in paragraph 2 not just the how, but I should have bolded, underlined, italicized the why, the scientific explanation of why you saw what you saw. And you can only find that from your sources. What did other researchers find? Maybe you've gone further, but is there evidence? Is there a suggestion of why you saw what you saw? Is it an addition to a scientific law, or have you pieced a few things together from different scientists or different research, and now you're compiling it together? So is there a chemistry reason for why you saw what you saw, or is there a biological reason for why you saw or a neurological reason why you saw what you saw in the trends and the patterns? So we really need to go deep. In paragraph number 3, there are some probably other findings that you, not just the main one that you found, or the trend and pattern. Did the independent variable increase or decrease when you changed the dependent variable? Are there other interesting thoughts and ideas, the unexpected, the intriguing, I wrote, results that you found, and what's the scientific explanation of those? Is there something that you can really sink your teeth into to discuss? Those paragraph number 2 and paragraph number 3 are one of the most important things in your whole SRP. Those two paragraphs and your graph and your tabulated results are really the things that mostly stand out for scientists. So please spend a fair bit of time on grappling with the, well, I saw this and what's the science behind it. Really go deep with that. Paragraph 4. What things could you have improved upon? What are the methodologies? I'll restate that. What are the components necessary for you to have performed this in a more valid, more reliable, more accurate way? Now, don't tell me the problems. I don't want to know that there was something that stuffed up or you needed more time. Do not say, basically excuses. We don't want to hear excuses. We want to hear, hey, this is probably the issues with it, and this is how they could be improved upon in the future. Very vital, this paragraph number 4, to show, hey, there's some possibly, seeing it's especially a student research report, there's probably some improvements that we could have made because there were a few methodological issues. There might not have been an instrument that was as accurate as possibly one that you could have gotten from the university or overseas. So you can discuss that and talk about it. Now, don't just state it, discuss it, chat about it, explain why it was better doing it that way. And last main paragraph for your discussion is, well, from the improvements, or as you go through a scientific report, as you do some research, many questions might come up, or intriguing thoughts and ideas to go, well, oh, that's interesting. I wonder why that happened. Or if I had more time, I might research into this. Now, again, it's still a teal or peel type paragraph, so we still need to have explanations and evidence for it, but think big, think elaborate, think what could I do with, if I had endless money, endless time, what are the key fundamental things that I'd go, oh, I'd probably go and research into that component of my research, because that might delve a little bit further. Okay, last bit is your conclusion. So, really major component, you need to discuss your overall conclusive statement, which is answering your aim. So, between the word conclusion and the word and, I should have written in brackets aim in bold letters. So, we really need to respond, answer your aim. Now, don't tell me that it worked. Don't tell me that it didn't work. Just respond, answer the aim. And then to bring it all back together, one or two, a sentence or so at the most, to tell us about the major impact of this study, which comes out of that conclusive statement. So maybe this was the trend that you found was when this went up as well. Therefore, the major impact that should have been elaborated upon in your discussion is this thing. So really, you should have already talked about this major impact in a bit of detail in your discussion, usually through paragraph number 3, and this is kind of summarizing that. Okay, there's your discussion and your conclusive statements. Remember, be very aware to be accurate, precise. A lot of sources from the internet and books maybe to back up your statements. Give me examples and evidence that you might be able to find to bring the reader into what you're saying. All right, good luck.